During 2012, the BBC will be broadcasting an extensive range of programmes and events across radio and television as part of its commitment to the Cultural Olympiad and the London 2012 Festival. The BBC is organising 3 of the biggest music events of the year. The world's largest classical music festival, the BBC Proms, will be part of the London 2012 Festival in its entirety. Radio 1 will be producing the biggest free live music event ever staged by the BBC, Radio 1's Hackney Weekend 2012. Music Nation is an unprecedented collaboration of the UK's orchestral and music-making communities with 50 events from Cornwall to the Shetland Isles. There's a fantastic range of Shakespeare on offer. On TV, there are brand new dramatisations of Richard II, Henry IV and Henry V, with a world-class cast and crew.
By my seat's right royal majesty, wert thou not my father's son? This tongue that runs so roundly in thy head should run thy head from thy unreverent shoulders.
Live in thy shame, but die not shame with thee.
On Radio 3, there's a season of Shakespeare that includes Twelfth Night, Romeo and Juliet, and The Tempest. While BBC Learning's nationwide schools contest, Off by Heart, is encouraging children to perform Shakespeare.
Whether 'tis noble in the mind to suffer, the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune.
With inspirational videos by some well-known faces.
If you prick us, do we not bleed? You tickle us, do we not laugh?
The final, in partnership with the Royal Shakespeare Company, will be shown on BBC Two. Also in partnership with the RSC, BBC Learning will launch Shakespeare Unlocked, a series of digital resources for teachers and secondary school students.
Wherefore art thou, Romeo?
And don't miss Simon Sharma on Shakespeare.
He gives us the unedited England, the complete thing, the cream and the scum.
On a lighter note, there's a QI special.
Dedicated to and entitled The Immortal Bard.
In partnership with the British Museum, Radio 4 looks at the world through the eyes of Shakespeare's audience with Neil McGregor.
I'll be choosing 20 objects, 20 things that have survived from Shakespeare's world.
To celebrate London as host city, there are a range of programmes, including Our Secret Streets.
Next week, we're pulling down Next Door.
A picture of London, exploring the city's ever-changing face.
That, I would imagine, I should say it's Coca-Cola.
A Tale of Two Cities.
This pair of houses is typical of the buildings that went up in the city after the fire.
Julian Temple's love letter to his home city, This is London. And Punk Britannia, charting the rise of punk rock.
We never called ourselves punk, the press gave us it.
Other initiatives from the BBC include the Your Paintings website, a joint initiative between the BBC and the Public Catalogue Foundation, will host new collections to complement the London and Shakespeare seasons. As well as The Space, a temporary experimental digital art service launched by Arts Council England and the BBC to support the wealth of arts events and activities taking place in the summer of 2012. The BBC's topical cultural shows will have coverage of London 2012 festival events from around the UK.
It's front row.
On tonight's Nightwaves, can documentaries still shock us?
There's also a culture show special about the making of Anish Kapoor's amazing contribution to the East London skyline. And a film on the late, great Lucian Freud accompanying a National Portrait Gallery retrospective.
I do start more self-portraits and destroy more than any other pictures.
Other BBC Olympic-related programming for 2012 includes Bert and Dickie, the uplifting story of how 2 young men defied all the odds and achieved gold at the 1948 London Games.
Olympic gold medal. It's the stuff of champions!
You're going to win because you deserve to.
Britain in a Day.
Film your day and send it in.
Britain in a Day is all about you.
And finally, hit comedy 2012 returns for a second series.
There's also a call from Lord Sugar about tickets for the opening ceremony.
God, well, he's definitely not getting any, even if I could get hold of some.
No, I think he was saying, did we want any?
Working with partners on an unprecedented scale, only the BBC could bring together such an extraordinary range of content to celebrate what will be a remarkable year.